So you think you know your Disney sequels, huh? Well, it's time to prove it in this episode of Disney Jeopardy. 2,856 clues have come and gone, but today is a brand new ballgame. Welcome to Disney Jeopardy. As always, I am your host, Bryan Perri, ready to take you on this sequel journey that will examine a bunch of movies that came out second or third or fourth or whatever. They weren't the original in the franchise. Let's take a look at the board, see the 5 categories you'll be playing. The game kicks off with sequels to sequels. That's followed by straight to VHS/DVD. Then you have song lyrics. These lyrics, of course, come from a Disney sequel or prequel or non-original movie in a franchise. Fourth category is your theme park category of the week. It is the second parks. And the final category, voted on by the Club DJ members, it is Finding Dory. Finding Dory with a pretty decisive win over Toy Story 4. Cars comes in last. Surprise, surprise. Shout out to all the Club DJ members who selected Finding Dory in this poll because it got me to rewatch the film this week in order to come up with the clues for this category. And the movie is a lot better than I remembered. I feel like I say that every single time I see a Disney movie that I hadn't seen in a long time, but that is how I feel. Also, some people were saying, I don't think Finding Dory is a sequel to Finding Nemo. And to that, I raise you the Merriam-Webster Dictionary. It says a sequel is a cinematic or televised work continuing the course of a story begun in a preceding one. And last I checked, the story of Marlin and Nemo began in Finding Nemo. Dory was there too, and then their story does continue in Finding Dory because Marlin and Nemo joined Dory on her adventure. So, if that was a mic, it would have been cooler. But anyway, it's time for the cupcake round. Yes, that is what that sound means. Each of these clues are worth 200 points each. We go back across the board to get the game started. It's sequels to sequels. The second Pixar film to include the number 3 in its title. Well, Toy Story 3 was first, Cars 3 was second. We're on to straight to VHS/DVD for the first time. While The Lion King 2 is a true sequel, The Lion King 1.5 takes place during the original film storyline, but follows the perspective of these characters instead of Simba's. It's a great movie. The correct answer is Timon and Pumbaa.
Just eat me now, and please make it fast. I got a low threshold for pain.
Easy there, little guy. I'm not gonna eat you.
What?
Onto song lyrics now. Again, these lyrics, or this song, can be heard playing in a sequel film. Is this the day, are you the way, I finally find out why? Those lyrics are from Show Yourself, which can be heard or seen in Frozen Dose. Fourth clue of the cupcake round brings us to the second parks. When it opened, Disney's California Adventure featured a small version of the Golden Gate Bridge that featured this attraction going across it. Yes, I do count this as an attraction because you need a ticket in order to ride it. The correct answer is monorail. You finished off the cupcake round with some Finding Dory. In order to find her parents, Dory has her sights set on Morro Bay, a town found in this U.S. state. Now, rewatching this movie, this blew my mind because I didn't realize that Morro Bay was a real place in California.
Did you live in Morro Bay, California? Yes!
No, Dory, California's all the way across the ocean.
Then we better get going.
And why did it blow my mind? Because I went to Morro Bay last year, and I had no idea. And if I knew, I would have been on the lookout for the Marine Life Institute, which doesn't actually exist, but it still would have been cool to be like, oh, this is where Finding Dory was taking place, you know? But anyway, yes, Morro Bay, real place in Golden State. We move on. It's time for the second round. It's a little tougher. We're back to sequels. After the viewership success of its first two films, the third movie released of this franchise debuted in theaters and included songs like The Boys Are Back and Now or Never. Also included some other songs that were a bit more popular. I just didn't want to make it that obvious. The correct answer here is High School Musical.
Right now I can hardly breathe.
Time for straight to VHS/DVD. Released in '94, this was the first Disney Toon animated sequel, sent straight to VHS. Disney Toon Studios were responsible for creating all those VHS and DVD sequels that you saw from '94 to 2008. What was the first one? It was The Return of Jafar.
All right, Carpet, let's go!
A new adventure with Aladdin. Disney's The Return of Jafar.
On to song lyrics for the second time. Identify the movie you can hear these lyrics in. Wait, there's no mountain too great. It's already been mentioned once in this show. The correct answer is Lion King 2.
There's no mountain too great.
Those lyrics are from He Lives in You, which also can be heard in the Broadway version of The Lion King. In my opinion, the greatest Disney song of all time that was not in a Disney feature animated movie. Here comes the second clue from the second parks category. The second water park to open at Walt Disney World. Well, you've got two right now. Those are Typhoon Lagoon and Blizzard Beach, but they weren't the original two. No, the original one was River Country USA, which no longer exists. So what came second? Was it Blizzard Beach or Typhoon Lagoon? The correct answer is Typhoon Lagoon. It beat Blizzard Beach by 6 years. Yeah, 6 years. Let's finish off the 400s with Finding Dory again. Dory's parents lay these out in hopes of Dory discovering them and leading her towards their home. It's really sweet. Dory's been missing for more than a year, according to what it says at the start of the film, and when she finally sees her parents, spoiler alert, they've been laying out shells because she loves shells.
And we stayed in this spot for you ever since.
Because we thought you might come back. So every day we go out and lay out
Shells.
We move on to the 600-point round now. It's back to sequels to the sequels. Cinderella 3 features a scene with this iconic character jumping out a window. So some people leave some comments last week saying that A Twist in Time is a true masterpiece. And when it comes to VHS sequels, I'd say yes. It's right up there with Lion King 2 for being the greatest ever. The correct answer here is Prince Charming.
I forbid you to take another step down these stairs!
Okay.
That scene alone establishes the movie as a classic. Here it comes, straight to VHS/DVD. Sequels to both Lady and the Tramp and 101 Dalmatians feature titles that include names of puppies first seen in the original films. These are the two dogs to have their names featured in those sequels. Well, from Lady and the Tramp, you had Scamp, and from 101 Dalmatians, and then 101 Dalmatians 2, you have Patch. And as we move on to song lyrics for the third time, these lyrics can be heard during the credits of a Disney sequel. Let's see what they are. It's worth 600. Hello, hello, hola, I'm in a place called Vertigo. No, I'm just kidding. Hello, hello, let me tell you what it's like to be a 0-0. Those lyrics are from Imagine Dragons. They can be heard during the credits of Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Hello, let me tell you what it's like to be a zero. Let me show you what it's like to never.
We've passed the halfway point. We're on to the second parks for 600. In 2023, this was the least attended Disney theme park in the world, pulling in just over 5 million guests. Not too bad to have your last place, 12th place Disney park, still pulling in 5 million people. As a comparison, just to let you know, Magic Kingdom pulled in over 17 million, more than 3 times the amount. The correct answer is Walt Disney Studios, which is the second park in Paris. Walt Disney Studios, of course, getting renamed very soon to Disney Adventure World. Let's finish off the 600-point round with Finding Dory for the third time. The Marine Life Institute in California used this celebrity to narrate their announcements over the loudspeaker. Who is Sigourney Weaver?
Sigourney Weaver says she'll be rescued, rehabilitated, and released.
She'll be in and out in a jiff.
We begin the 800-point round with sequels to the sequels. Tom Holland's third Spider-Man film, No Way Home, includes the return of this villain from Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 3 movie. All right, so this one's a little tricky. I'm going to let you guys decide if you get the points or not. The answer I was looking for was Sandman, because Sandman is one of the main villains in Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire, and yes, he appears in No Way Home with Tom Holland. Now, some of you may have said Green Goblin, which was not the answer I was looking for, but technically the Green Goblin and Norman Osborn appear very briefly in Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 3, so if you said that, you're not wrong. So give yourself the points, I guess. But that's fight with yourselves if you guys think you deserve the points. If the person next to you said Green Goblin and you don't think they deserve the points, you guys can battle it out. We move on now to the second clue from the 800-point round. It's straight to VHS/DVD. In 1997, Brave Little Toaster got its first sequel in Europe, thanks to Brave Little Toaster to the Rescue. In a bizarre twist, that film wasn't released in North America until 2 years later in 1999, which was a full year after the release of this 1998 film, the final one made for the franchise. All right, so I admit it. This is very confusing, but it's such a cool fun fact. I wanted to include it in the episode. So the correct answer here is Brave Little Toaster Goes to Mars. And yes, that was the third Brave Little Toaster film made or created, though it came out second here in North America. It came out third in Europe, second here in North America, making To the Rescue third here in North America, and second over in Europe. Very strange. Very weird. Don't know why there was a 2-year delay with another Brave Little Toaster movie released before it, but that's how it went down. Also, great movies. Brave Little Toaster, great movies. Here comes song lyrics for 800. When somebody loved me, everything was beautiful. Well, there's nothing sadder than when Sarah McLachlan sings about homeless puppies.
Hi, I'm Sarah McLachlan. Will you be an angel?
That's the worst. It's literally the worst. But I guess maybe in second place is watching Jessie get thrown out in Toy Story 2.
When somebody loved me, everything was beautiful.
Those lyrics are from the song When She Loved Me. On to the second parks for 800 points. Following the opening of EPCOT in 1982, 2 World Showcase pavilions were added to the park, Morocco in 84 and this country in 1988. Pretty sad that it's been over 35 years since we've added a World Showcase pavilion, especially since we have land here, 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 and here, but I digress. The correct answer is Norway. Yes, 1988 was the year Maelstrom opened. Here comes the final clue before the 1000s. It's Finding Dory. Dory informs Hank that he has this many hearts. Hank is the 7-legged octopus, I guess. Well, he was an octopus at one time. And he has 3 hearts.
You know something? For a guy with 3 hearts, you're not very nice.
3 hearts? What are you talking about? I don't have 3 hearts.
Yes, you do.
I don't.
You do.
Don't.
Do.
Stop saying that.
If you've played the game before, you know that 20 clues are down and 6 remain. But before we get to Final Jeopardy, you know what time it is. It is time for the most overly dramatic, soundtrack infused, unnecessarily spotlighted part of the game, the 1,000-point round. Hit it. All right, we're putting the hat on backwards, Ken Griffey Jr. style, in order to emphasize the dramatics of this 1,000-point round. We begin with sequels to the sequels for the final time. The names of the 3rd films in each of the Star Wars trilogies. All right, so the original trilogy means it brings us to episode 6, which was Return of the Jedi. Then we go to the prequel trilogy. That 3rd film was Revenge of the Sith. The final trilogy, the sequel trilogy, the Disney trilogy. That 3rd film was The Rise of Skywalker. On to straight to VHS/DVD for the final time. Despite not being made by Walt Disney Feature Animation, Disney decided to release this 2003 sequel film in theaters after originally planning to send it straight to DVD. The film included Haley Joel Osment and John Goodman as the voices of the 2 main characters. So yes, this is the one clue from the straight to VHS/DVD category that did not go straight to VHS/DVD, though it was intended to do so because yes, it was made by Disney Toon Studios, the same people who made all those straight to VHS films. It was not made by Disney Feature Animation. The correct answer is The Jungle Book 2.
Yeah, man!
Man, that beat is chilling me.
Hiya, Papa Bear.
Hey there, little britches.
Don't know why Disney decided to release that one in theaters. Out of all of them, they decided to release that one. It's beyond me. If you can't get enough of the straight to VHS category, you can go back in time on DisneyJeopardy.com, head over to the episode page right there, and click episode 31, which features another VHS sequel category. It's got different clues, I promise. Here comes song lyrics for the final time. Here's the magic of Andalasia, contained in this wondrous wishing wand. Those lyrics can be heard in the Enchanted sequel, which did not go straight to VHS or DVD, but went straight to Disney Plus, which I guess is the modern day equivalent. The correct answer is Disenchanted.
Here's the magic of Andalasia, contained in this wondrous wishing wand.
Onto the second parks for the final time. The creation of Tokyo Disney Sea, which is Tokyo's second park, utilized scrapped ideas from a planned Disney Sea park set for Long Beach, California. That park was part of this 440-acre canceled resort. It would have also included hotels, a marina, and the RMS Queen Mary ship. There were a ton of cool projects planned for California back in the day. EPCOT was one of them, the West Coast version of EPCOT. That is not the correct answer here. That was just going to be a theme park at Disneyland. No, this was a different resort entirely. The correct answer, as seen right there, is Port Disney. Yes, Port Disney looked very cool, and then Euro Disney sucked all the money out of the Walt Disney Parks department, and thus we were downgraded to a park which was going to be WestCOT, but then WestCOT didn't happen. We got California Adventure instead. But we also in turn got Disney Sea, the Tokyo version, instead as well. So maybe it was a win-win. Here comes the final clue on the board before Final Jeopardy. It's Finding Dory. Fish marked with a tag at the Marine Life Institute are intended to be transferred to an aquarium in this American city. What is Cleveland?
You were about to give me your tag.
Well, I kind of like my tag. Why do you want it?
So I can go to... So I can go to Cleveland.
Cleveland? I hear good things about Cleveland. Why do you want to go?
Because if I stay here, I'm going to get released back to the ocean.
So there you go. The board has been wiped, and one clue remains. Just so happens to be the final clue of the game that will ultimately determine how proud of yourself you will be for the next 7 days. Thank you to everyone who suggested clues on DisneyJeopardy.com. I do have some news about Disney Jeopardy in general. I know the audience reaction has been mixed. We'll call it mixed reviews.
Let's call it mixed reviews.
Greatest movie ever, pop star. In terms of having every episode themed to a specific topic. A lot of people like the variety instead of focusing on one specific theme every episode. We'll be doing this until episode 110. Then beginning episode 111, things will go back to the old way where you get 5 completely random categories, except for the Club DJ member category. But next week, again, will be a themed episode. What will that theme be? Time to find out. Let's take a look. I'd like to thank the Academy. That's right, the Oscars are this weekend, and next week it's all about awards that Disney films and parks and things like that have been nominated for or even have won. The first category in next week's award-themed episode will be the Academy Awards. So if you want to suggest a Disney clue that has to do with the Academy Awards, head over to DisneyJeopardy.com like I mentioned before. For now, make your wagers on your knowledge about Disney and the Oscars. And time is up. All right, let's check out the final clue all about the Academy Awards and Disney. Out of Disney feature animations, 10 films released during the quote-unquote Disney Renaissance, this was the only one not to earn an Academy Award nomination. Good luck. And time is up. You know, a lot of people say that the Disney Renaissance brought Disney back from the dark days of the 80s, and I say that's a bunch of baloney. So 1980s had some good movies. Look, we had Fox and the Hound. We had, okay, no, we'll skip that one. We had Great Mouse Detective. That's a classic. Oliver and Company is very good. So yes, the Disney Renaissance may have, upped the game a little bit. It's not like it was that bad in the 1980s. Anyway, every single movie during the Disney Renaissance got some form of an Academy Award nomination, usually having to do with music or something, except one. What was that one movie? Correct answer is The Rescuers Down Under.
Hey, what? Are you guys crazy? You can't do that to me! I'm an American citizen, buddy! Better double it! Double?
Double coming up!
No!
And that does it for episode 105 of Disney Jeopardy, all about sequels and prequels. Did I talk about prequels? I don't know. Third trilogies, all that stuff. I hope you enjoyed it. Shout out to all the Club DJ members who voted for Finding Dory. Thank you so very much for forcing me to watch that movie and now appreciating it on a whole nother level. It's time for you guys to vote again. The poll is now live. Which one of these you want to have a category all about? As a reminder, I mentioned it before, head over to DisneyJeopardy.com, the clue page specifically, in order to suggest a clue about Disney and the Academy Awards. Please also include the answer. A few times I've gotten some clues and I have no idea what the answer is, and maybe the other person doesn't know what the answer is either, and they're just asking me a question. That has happened a few times, so please have an answer. This way, I can double check or whatever and potentially include it in the episode. Now, you know the deal. If you like what you saw, do me a favor, subscribe, click that bell icon. Hello, bell. This way, you're notified every time we come out with brand new content. I've been your host, Bryan Perri. I'll see you next week for the award show, the Disney Jeopardy Award Show. Maybe that's what I'll call it, the Disney Jeopardy Award Show. We'll see. You'll see. We'll all see. We'll see you then. Till then.
Bye-bye.